Hello, Internet, and welcome to AOS. Thanks for hanging out with us on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. We are still not doing our normal thing. We're here to play some masks tonight. Unfortunately, our DM Barry is still having some computer issues that looks like they're going to persist through the next couple of weeks. So we're going to keep on this one-shot train rolling, and Alex is going to run a masks game for us tonight, which we will get into very soon. I'm going to go ahead and kind of go through our announcements. I just heard a beep in the background. I got to make sure I turn that off. You saw a bunch of our pregame video here just a second ago. We have lots of great shows here on the channel that you can check out throughout the week. We will have our next show after this one, if you like what you see tonight, is going to be on Thursday. It's going to be Elegant Suffering, our Good Society game, sort of Jane Austen fare. A lot of us here are in that, everyone except for David. And we just kiss each other a lot. It's kind of the whole game. So yeah, you can come join us for that on Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's a lot of fun. And otherwise, our schedule, if you're watching us live on Twitch, is below our faces. Just scroll on down and you can see whatever we're doing. If you're watching us on YouTube or sometime in the future, go over to our Twitch page, hit the follow button, check out whatever we're doing at whatever time it is that you're watching this. Anyway, so oh yeah, Alex reminded me this too. We have a one shot tomorrow have we picked a time for that yet? 8 o'clock Eastern time. Tomorrow we're gonna be playing Blades in the Dark. Ryan is going to be running it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think most of us haven't played the system before, so it should be exciting for us to butcher. So come on and join us for that tomorrow at 8. Yeah, I think that's it. Does anyone have any announcements or anything before Alex gets us started? No. Okay. Alex, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, Sean. As was mentioned, tonight we are playing Masks, and that is a game of superheroes and for superheroes, which means this is not a job for mild-mannered Alex. This is a job for GM Man. All right. Thank you all for joining me. This will be my first time playing Masks. I'm going to fix my earphones before they get messed up by my cape. But yeah, so this is a game that we've played before on this channel a long time ago, Wonderworld Origins, which had a bunch of us playing in that as well. And I've been wanting to run a game of that ever since. And so we've got a one-shot of it for you tonight. And so we are going to start off with some character creation, introduce you to the characters, but then there's also something that Masks does is sort of when the team came together and figuring out starting relationships and stuff like that. And we thought that could be a fun way for you all to get to know these characters a little bit. So before we get into those questions, let's just briefly go around and introduce ourselves, who we're playing as, that sort of thing. So looks like first we have Savannah. Who are you playing as?
That's me. Hi, I'm Savvy. My character's name is Mai Morrison, aka Etheria. She is a beacon. Should I say what my powers are?
We'll get into that when we do the deeper dive stuff.
It's a surprise.
Dun dun dun. All right, next is Sean.
I am reprising my character, the Golden Duke, also known, or his alter ego is Hector Adonis. And yeah, that's me.
All right, that brings us to LB.
Hi, I'm LB, and I'll be playing Subrina Cooper. I'm reprising her from our Masks game on Encounter Roleplay. She is an outsider, and she's just super happy to be involved.
All right, and that brings us to David.
I will be playing Kevin Spark, aka Chrysalis. who is running the transformed playbook.
All right. This should be quite the interesting mix we've got going on. And so let us get into some of the fun stuff of character creation. So there is an order that we need to go in. And based on who we have here, we will be starting with Subrina, the outsider. So if you could please tell us so each playbook has a section called How the Team Came Together, and they each have a different question for it. And let us please start with the outsider's questions, and then you as the player will come up with your response to that.
Yes. We didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How and why?
So based on what little you know of the other players' characters
All of
right
us?
now.
So I'm deciding on all of us, how we all came together as a group?
Yeah, and there can be some, contribution from the other players on this, but ultimately, this is your question. It's your answer.
So, would everyone have been sort of on their own to begin with, do you think? Or
most likely, if some of you are older, because you're all high school aged, that's another big thing of masks. Maybe a senior has already been working, as a superhero for a little bit, but certainly the first time that you all came together, some of you may have been independent, some of you may have already been part of the Squires, which we'll get into what a Squire is in a little bit.
I think, at least for Subrina, she comes off a little strong at first, and she wants everyone to be her friend. So I know for her, it could have been just like too much too fast. But she's fiercely loyal. So if a situation showed up where they were trying to save the day in some way, Subrina would have definitely put herself in harm's way to help all of them.
Okay. I like it. So, maybe finding Subrina to be a bit overbearing, but it's like, oh wait, she means well, even if she can be a little much at times.
It's true.
All right. Then that will bring us to the next we have is Sean with the Legacy, the Golden Duke.
When our team first came together, all things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it?
Is it your dad?
My dad would be retired at this point. So, because there's only one Golden Duke. So I think he'd be retired. I was thinking, I don't know if you had somebody already, like for the Squires or all of that, Alex, that's somebody that we already working with. Because I think, again, as the Legacy, Hector was probably already working with this group, or probably in like official channels when things came together. Would there be somebody he would have been working under or with?
Sure. So I guess I'll explain a little bit more. So you all are Squires, which is the high school division of the Paladins, which is the overarching superhero peacekeeping organization. And the head of the local chapter of the Paladins is a superheroine named Athena plus Artemis. Kind of goes with her power set. So she's been there. She's, late 30s, early 40s, so she could conceivably have been head of the chapter right as your dad was retiring, but she is certainly the one in charge now.
Yeah, because he probably would have retired in the last 5 years or so, I imagine, when Hector took over. So yeah, maybe we impressed her as a member of the Paladins, and then that sort of gets us into the Squires and kind of brings the whole thing together a little bit more.
Sounds good.
We'll go Athena.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. Next in our order is gotta find the right PDF. It's gonna be Chrysalis the Transformed.
Okay. We drew attention and ire from plenty during the fight. One important person in particular now hates and fears us. Who is it? I'm thinking maybe like something like a Lex Luthor type. Like maybe we did a lot of damage and we just got a rich guy in the city who just really hates us now. Like with no real moral code.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think it hates your team in particular, all supers in general? How do you think they feel?
I think our team in particular, I think there's a lot of soups that they don't like, but they got a special hatred for us.
All right. We can very much work with that. And last but not least, let's go to Etheria, our beacon.
The beacons is when our team first came together, we found signs that this incident was just the start of something bigger. What were the signs? This feels like a very specific question.
Yeah, so part of Masks is definitely geared towards longer games, less so for one-shots, but we'll find something. We'll make it work.
So what was the incident itself? Like, what
Yeah.
were we fighting?
Well, something where Subrina had to put herself in harm's way, that you all pissed off this world's Lex Luthor. You did a good enough job of it that the head of the Paladins is still like, you're all right, kids.
A robot. Those are
Robot.
expensive.
Robot. And maybe that ties in with the Lex Luthor character too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
So, was it like a robot was attacking the city or like our school?
I don't know. Could be either something, more directly that's like, oh, Lex Luthor was creating a new robot and this prototype went haywire and you all stopped it and made him look bad.
Oh,
Or-
okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
The
Okay.
AI was just like 2 decimals off or something like that.
Yep.
So we
But
found signs that incident was the start of something bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't, the code wasn't off at all. Maybe it was a virus.
Or maybe the oh wait, that's yours. Never mind. Yeah, I like it.
I like that.
All right. Well then, let's get into the relationships next. And I don't think we need to go into a specific order for this, so we'll just we'll go for relationships. We'll go in reverse based on the overlay, and then influence will go the overlay order. So we'll start with the relationships for Chrysalis.
Okay, so first is someone comforted you when you were at your lowest. And I don't know very much about people's characters, so...
My character would not have done that.
Okay.
My character would have done that.
Okay,
Character would have done
sure.
that.
Sabrina.
All right.
And
Yep,
someone knew you before you changed. And I was kind of thinking maybe Hector, since you're a legacy. And I'm not exactly a legacy, but I had a dad who was a superhero as well. So maybe we could have known each other from before.
Yeah. Well, if we went to like, I don't know what you're kind of seeing your high school persona being and stuff too. Maybe they knew each other before high school, like friends in grade school and grew up, and then, yeah, cool. Because I think Hector's probably a big old jock too.
Yeah, and I guess before we go any further, what is Chrysalis's transformed? Because the transformed,
Yeah.
for those of you at home, it's the sort of like, the Thing, the Hulk playbook. They lost their human form and can't go back to it.
So I'm kind of rolling with. I have since found evidence that I may not have been my father's son. That there was some sort of. He disappeared, and shortly after I transformed and found evidence of a Project Chrysalis. The transformation was literally I grew like I am in a chrysalis. My body that you see is just like a dead material that I give off, and it's shaped slowly over time. I am a liquid inside of it that is psychic.
Okay.
And
I love him.
What?
Big fan.
So I'm a big metallic insect-looking thing that doesn't really have a body. It's not like I feel anything through it. I'm just psychic and I'm aware of what's going on around me. I move it through telekinesis.
And weird.
yeah.
Horrifying.
I love
It's
it.
horrifying.
I think Savvy's character knows which one she wants to kiss now.
The big
That's a weird
psychic
bug
goo
guy.
monster.
Yep. We'll get to that later. But all right. So then, let's go ahead and say what your abilities are as well. Just lay it out.
So yeah, my abilities are impenetrable armor, inhuman might, telekinesis and telepathy, and superhuman senses.
Okay. Nice, because we are playing this with each of the players has been able to take 2 advancements to give them a little more fun stuff to play with. So they have a little bit more at their disposal than you typically would starting out. But very cool. Let's go to Subrina and your relationships.
Hello, I'm Sabrina. My relationships. You've been learning about Earth by spending time with blank. Anyone can say.
Be fine with that. Yeah.
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 Goo monster is a good person to teach you about Earth.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I wasn't always a goo monster, all right.
You know what? Maybe the in his lowest moment, Sabrina told him that she was a shape-shifting alien from another planet.
Oh, there we go.
All right, and then you have I forgot about this one. You have a crush on blank, but you keep it under wraps. I forgot about that.
Now you have to choose.
Oh boy.
If you had to choose, if you had to choose.
It's a tie. I mean, it has to be Hector, doesn't it? Because he's
Godlike
I
beauty.
think it kind of does.
But I'm an alien, so like your beauty doesn't really affect. I don't know. What's my tally with your characters so far? I'll say it's Hector.
All right. And then Sabrina, what are your powers that you're starting with?
Sabrina's powers are helikinesis and radical shapeshifting. She is always shapeshifted into a human form that's not her natural form. And as part of the playbook, it says that you can fly and you're pretty tough.
Yep. So all outsiders get those by default and then have their choice of extra abilities. All right. Let's go to Hector now with his godlike beauty and examine his relationships.
Yeah, my relationships are you once got caught doing something that shames your legacy with blank. Okay.
I think that's me.
Sorry, I was clarifying that with.
Yes. So trouble. So we'll go with Mai or Etheria. Who's the troublemaker?
I almost did a delinquent.
Yeah.
Change my mind.
The second one is you trust blank and told them an important secret of your legacy. And I think if we're going with what we had the relationship we had talked about previously, that would make sense for Chrysalis, because if we had this relationship prior to your transformation and everything.
All right.
I don't know what that secret is. You just know some secret.
Mhm.
No secret.
Yeah, probably some sort of kryptonite thing.
Very good. And we've already alluded to your godlike beauty several times, but what are the rest of your abilities?
It's basically the Thor power suite. It is divine armor, magic weaponry, mythic might, legendary speed, and godlike beauty.
So we're not just saying it, that is literally on the playbook sheet.
I will roll freak to use my beauty power at some point.
All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how many opportunities I give y'all for smooching and how many you just make on your own. Okay, and then let's go to Savannah with our Etheria, the beacon.
The beacon. My first one is blank is awesome, and you take every chance you get to hang out with them. But I think it's Sabrina. I think they're friends. They probably run in the same crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have you've got to prove yourself to blank before you feel like a real hero. It's just troublesome. I think I'm gonna say Hector for that one though.
Makes sense with the Golden Duke's legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then which abilities have you chosen for your beacon?
So the beacon usually only has like minor powers, and they're just really cool. But so I have camouflage and stealth and phasing. I can phase into and through solid objects.
Very
And
cool.
maybe people, I don't know if she's tried. I told you guys this before the game. I've essentially accidentally made Danny Phantom.
And I'm sure, well, good thing I didn't make the Ghostbusters in this.
Oh no!
All right, and so now let's go back down the line with influence, which is a mechanic in this game. It allows characters to basically tell other characters what to do, add some mechanical effects as well, but by default, because these are all teenagers, every adult has influence over them and gets to tell them what to do. Now they can choose to try and reject that influence, but for the most part, they listen to the grown-ups. And each playbook also has different people that they give influence to. So yeah, we'll start again with the beacon.
Me. You're so excited to be here. Give influence to 3 of your teammates.
Yep. So all 3 of you will take influence over my Etheria, however you want to mark it down, and there's this spot on your sheet for it. The most important thing for that is anytime you roll something with that character, whether it's to defend them or if you're attacking them, you get to add a +1 as long as you have influence.
Ooh, can I say my drives that the beacon has?
Yes.
I did them before.
So that is another thing that the beacon has, if you want to explain.
Yeah, so you have, the beacon has drives, and essentially there's this huge list of them, and you pick 4 things that you really want to do. When you complete them, mark them off, you get potential. And then when you complete the set, you start over and you get another set of my drives as of now are pull off a ridiculous stunt, save a teammate's life, take down a threat all on your own, and kiss a teammate. I was gonna do 4 dangerous ones, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That last one could be dangerous. Anyway, it's the thing that beacon gets. It's really fun.
So we'll have to see if we can get to all 4 of those in tonight's session.
I'm gonna try.
Yep. All right. So then let's go to the Golden Duke.
This is also going to be easy. You're part of this team, for better or for worse, and you care what they think. Give influence to all of your teammates.
Yeah. For the most part, most of the playbooks give influence to everyone, but there are some that give it to none of them.
Yeah.
Which we can see which one LB chose. Subrina is the outsider.
Hello, I'm the outsider. My influence says choose your demeanor. Naughty or cheerful, or haughty or cheerful. But I'm very cheerful, so everyone gets influence over Subrina.
All right, and then Chrysalis, your influence.
Mine says, you try not to care what other people think, even if you can't shut everyone out. Give influence to one teammate.
You done fucked it up. You could have had it for everyone. We could have had a clean sweep.
No. I'm gonna go with Subrina.
Cool. And something just to note about influence, you can give influence to a teammate whenever you want if you think they've said or done something that means you care about what they think. So yeah, feel free to just toss out influence. Y'all are influencers now. Congratulations. Okay, I believe that does it for the character creation stuff, unless you all are remembering something I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, each playbook also gets some moves that they either start with or can pick to start with. Do you guys think it would be fun to go through those now, or just see if they come up over the course of play?
Probably the aha of having the move come up would be cool.
We don't have to look
Sure.
them all.
Yeah. All right. Well then, I think it's time for us to really begin tonight's session. So, situated in the Pacific Northwest, Port Arbor is a bustling metropolis bordered on one side by the ocean and the other by a vast pine forest nature reserve. Aside from the wonderful location, Port Arbor is special for one other reason. It's home to one of the few hero training course collegiate programs in the country. No one is really sure which came first, the Hero TC program or the swath of superpowered shenanigans that plague the city. The civilians are just thankful for the presence of so many established and aspiring superheroes, all operating under the peacekeeping organization known as the Paladins. Hostile alien invasion? Call the Paladins. Horde of dinosaurs rampaging down Main Street? Call the Paladins. Cat stuck in a tree? Well, maybe you should just call for the Squires. And that's who our heroes tonight are. Squires. Aspiring high school heroes working with established Paladins to train and grow their abilities. Most Squires maintain secret identities, but they essentially have the coolest and most dangerous extracurricular activities a high schooler could have. Though all Squires are required to take their superhero duties seriously, they're also encouraged to enjoy life as a civilian as much as possible. And that's where we start our story tonight. It's Friday, 2:54 p.m., the longest 6 minutes of the week. Most teenagers are thinking about the big sports game tonight, maybe a date, or their part-time job, or just how much they want to catch up on sleep before they have to catch up on their homework. Maybe that's what our heroes are thinking too. But they've also got something else on their minds. They've got patrol duty tonight. It's not scheduled until after the big game, which means they've got some time to themselves. Let's find out what they do with that, shall we? So, school is about to end on Friday. Where do you think you all are? What are you thinking? What are you getting up to? What do you do before you have to report in for patrol tonight?
My plays in a punk band,
Very cool.
so probably
It's not a
that.
ska band.
No, it's not a ska band.
Okay.
That's a different character. No, it's a punk band. They play at all of the open mic nights and the school talent shows. And she plays bass, so she's probably doing that.
Nice.
Hector's probably at football practice if it's the day before the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that works because there is non-powered sports league and then powered sports league, and it just if you have abilities. Well, I guess this would be a question if there is that division, because powers are sorta almost prevalent enough in this world, like My Hero Academia, where a lot of people have really minor powers, and it's just the few who have good enough abilities to join the Paladins. and that's where all of you are. But so do you think Hector would be trying to play it cool and tone it down for the Powered League, or?
No, he wouldn't be toning anything down. That's not his style. So if he wouldn't, I guess if Hector wasn't able to compete on the Powered League because he was too powerful, then he'd be doing whatever athletic thing he could do on his own, and still, like, I mean, he'd just be working out and helping train the football team essentially. Then it's just like 1v10 against the other team. 11.
Yeah, we could do that. Could also do it that, they've built limiters, so you could, wear a bunch of weights, and that would put you at an appropriate level for playing in the game.
Perfect. So he comes off the field and he pulls off the weights, and he just poof into the ground like Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Stretching. Good game.
All right.
I think Sabrina's friends with everyone, so like as soon as the bell rings, she's like waving and saying hi to people in the hallway. But I think she's part of the theater club, and she's like helping make props and stuff, and like welding with her powers.
What's the school play?
Othello. It's the first one I thought of. Sorry.
Yeah, that works. And then Chrysalis, does he even go to school still?
Yes. Yep, definitely giant bug man in school. I think probably I don't care what other people think. So yeah, I'm just gonna like duck out and go home and just play video games online.
I was thinking, since she plays music, well, she knows Chrysalis, I think, because he's just a big bug man fucking floating around school. But I guess that's probably how Mai knows like Hector and Subrina, because she's probably like in the band and like plays music for like in the orchestra. Orchestra, it's a high school, but
yep,
for like theater department. So
all right,
she's at whatever practice she needs to be at. There's probably many of them.
Yep. So it sounds like, for the most part, most of you would maybe be roped in some capacity to the big game tonight. Hector's obviously playing. Maybe theater department was drafted for, putting props together, and the band
She would probably just go because she's that social butterfly.
You can bet some of those fools are singing the national anthem.
And then Mai's there as part of the band playing, and Chrysalis is probably getting text updates whether he wants to or not.
Yes.
I was trying to decide like what you played in marching band.
Piccolo.
Yeah, that seems right. Something very opposite of what she usually does.
So our patrol is after the game?
Yes. They want to make sure that you guys still get to live high school lives, and they know some of you are involved in the game, and so you're not going to have to report in until after the game. So you've got a couple hours. We can cut to some of you guys in the stands if you want, or just cut to after the game if we'd rather skip all that.
Won't be able to do much talking with anyone because they'll be on the field.
Yeah.
At halftime, Mai would say hi, maybe, to Hector.
Yeah, as the band's lining up behind the team.
Yeah.
And Hector's on the sidelines because they're on defense right now, and so he turns back. He says, "Oh, hi.
Hey.
How are you, Mai?
Great.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
You enjoying the game?
Totally been watching the whole thing.
Good. Excited for our patrol tonight. We're going to do great.
Yep.
Oh, something. And he turns back towards the field to see whatever the play is. Hey, there's a fumble or something, and he starts like cheering on his teammates.
He's lucky he's hot. She says to whoever's standing next to her.
Sean, let's go ahead and have you roll your choice of directly engage a threat or unleash your powers to see how the team's doing in the first half.
Sure. I have a thing for fight the good fight when you pull your punches when directly engaging a threat.
Okay.
I can choose to roll savior instead of danger.
All right.
Would that apply here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, you are definitely pulling your punches because otherwise you
Not
could probably kill some of the players.
yeah. Okay, so roll savior. Well, great way to start the game.
Well,
That's snake eyes for a 4.
Yeah, so I think your team is not doing so great in the first half.
But still all smiles are like, we'll get them in the second half, everyone, all right? There's no I in team.
How do any of you inform Chrysalis of how your school's team is doing at the half?
Subrina is just in constant contact with him, like whether he responds or not, because they all hang out now. So she's just giving him updates like, oh no, they scored against us, oh no. And then like a Snapchat of her sad face.
I think Mai always gets in trouble for having her phone on her when the band is performing. So they're like sitting there, like she's like every moment she gets just like on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing bad.
All right. I think if I'm just getting nonstop berated by updates about the game anyways, I'll go at the half since everyone's there. I'll just make my way over towards the end of halftime.
Yay!
All right. I think, you are a known factor of the school, but I don't think the other team is quite prepared for when they see a giant, well, not giant, but a bug person just show up. And so I think throws them off their game a little bit. So Hector is going to get to roll the next one with a +1.
I
At some point, Hector
could.
sees it and says, "Hi, Chris."
I could roll be the monster if I wanted to and just try and really freak everyone the hell out.
What does that move
On
do?
the other team. It says, when you frighten, intimidate, or cow others with your monstrous form, roll plus freak on it. Hit, they are thrown off and make themselves vulnerable to you or flee.
All right, yeah. That sounds like a good move to roll here.
All right.
So it's
Oh, the team
2d6
just
plus
runs.
your freak. And depending on how you
Alright.
do, we'll see if Hector gets a bonus.
Did we talk at the beginning about how this is powered by the apocalypse?
No, I don't think we did. So yeah, this is powered by the apocalypse, which means it's a 2d6 system, and each character has 5 stats called labels. There's danger, freak, savior, superior, and mundane, and each of those is how that character views themselves. And certain moves are associated with certain stats, certain labels. But with all powered by the apocalypse systems, you roll the 2d6, add whatever modifiers. If it's a 6 or worse, it's a complete miss. 7 to 9 is a mixed success, like Chrysalis just got here, and 10 plus is a great success, total hit. So, does your move say what happens on 7 to 9?
Yes. So yeah, they make themselves vulnerable or flee, and then I have to choose 2 things that also happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to choose you frighten others you had not intended to scare.
Okay.
So I think I just kind of like roll in and then just like shout telepathically to like the whole field, just like, come on, Bobcats or whatever.
I think somewhere in the stands you hear a baby start crying because they're like, what is this loud voice in my head?
Aww.
And the other one, because I don't want to break or hurt anyone, I'm going to go with you feel like more of a monster afterwards, and market condition, GM's choice.
Ooh. Okay. So with masks, instead of characters having HP or health or something, they have conditions. There's afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, and insecure. No, I do think, because this is kind of just a silly roll, I'm not going to actually inflict a condition on you just for this, but maybe some minor guilt.
Okay. Feel a little guilty. Got it.
Okay, but yeah, Hector will go ahead and give you a +1 because the other team is shaken. Your team, some people are a little shaken, but for the most part, your school knows Chrysalis. They know Kevin.
It's just Chris. Don't worry about it. And just smacks him on the back and says, "Let's get out there. Score some points."
Am I standing on the sidelines like, his name's Kevin?
His name is Kevin.
I don't know. I don't know if he just goes by Chrysalis now. I was assuming that when he transformed, that's his name. Then he says Kevin because they knew each other before.
No, it's funnier if you keep calling him Chris. But Maya thinks you're a jackass.
Hi, Kevin.
His name's Kevin.
I see what you see.
Just call him Kevin.
All right.
That
Yeah,
was fun.
I walk over and take the seat.
All right.
Kinda.
So I get to roll +1 on this.
Yes.
Can't be any worse.
Oof.
How am I rolling so bad?
Get them out now before the villain shows up.
Man, I kind of want to help cheat.
Oh,
Gonna
how would
level
you
up
help
before
cheat?
Well, here's the thing. My one power is not being seen or disappearing into things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to very stealthily, mostly because Mai is bored and doesn't like losing in any capacity, very stealthily go to the other team's sideline and just take a bunch of their helmets so they can't find them to put them to go out on the field. Delay a game.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd say that could be using the one from the team pool that you start with to help out.
Sure.
All right. It's the changing from offense to defense, but the other team suddenly realizes they can't field enough players because their gear's gone missing. So there's a forced delay of game that gives your school's team enough time to regroup, get your heads back in the game, and that will give Hector's roll a +1 from using the team resource, which bumps it up to 7, which we'll say for high school football is enough for you guys to come back and win the game. You did it.
Yeah.
You did the sports.
Yay!
Yay.
Good job, Hector.
I cheated.
Thank you. Good game, everyone.
You're welcome.
So you all have, probably about hour and a half, 2 hours before you have to report into Paladin's HQ for patrol. What do any of you do?
Kevin, do you want to go get ice cream?
Sure. I'll go with you while you get ice cream.
Maya, do you want ice cream?
Yeah, sure.
Hector, ice cream.
1 minute, have to team speech right there.
Oh, he's busy. We'll see you later, Hector. Bye.
I'll be right there. And
No,
like
that's
super
okay.
speed runs off and goes to celebrate with the team and is probably super speeds back to them before they even make it out of the parking lot.
Why are you so fast?
Just ping-ponging between the two groups.
Yeah, giving a speech simultaneously while I'm also hanging out with you guys because I'm moving. No, I don't think he's that fast.
Or do you also give the speech in super speed? So it's like listening to a podcast at like 3 times.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, good game. Great work out there. Okay, go.
I have no idea what he said, but he was beautiful while he did it.
Yeah, I'll go hang out, get ice cream with them.
Ice cream.
All right.
Ice cream.
What is the ice cream shop's name, and what flavor do you all get?
I'm gonna say it's a like, not that what I'm thinking, but like the places where you can like make your own ice cream.
Yes, I love those places.
Yep, the Cold Stone.
What?
Cold Stone Creamery.
No, the one where it's like they have
the
machines on the
self-serve.
wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
the taps on the wall.
Froyo place.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did just call them taps. They're not taps when it's ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, the ice cream taps.
The ice cream taps.
I got this ice cream keg. It's just like,
It's the only word I could think of.
Oh, what's it called though?
Ben and Jerry's and Susan's. They added a third
So
partner.
Susan.
Good for them.
They expanded.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say Frozone.
Frozone.
Oh, that's
better.
that's better.
You did it.
I
Mhm.
did it. Joke's on you guys. That's a character from a movie that I stole.
Mm-hmm. Where's
Yes,
my super
we know.
Where is my super scoop? Here's your
Yeah.
super scoop of ice cream.
Get a super
It's
scoop.
an incredible themed ice. Or no, are we living in the same universe as the Incredibles? So this is
maybe
actually a
This is what
Frozone.
Frozone does now.
Yeah, has his own ice cream store.
Frozone is my favorite.
Sabrina just like she takes the middle one from all of them and just fills it up, like up to the top, gummies, like chocolate chips, little cookie dough bits and sprinkles, and it's like a $20 thing of ice cream for herself.
What about the rest of you?
Just gonna go
Actually,
save
that's-
us a table.
Hector does almost the same thing, except there's like 3 of them because he burns a lot of calories.
Oh, they're meant to
Yeah.
be together. Non-fat blackberry frozen yogurt, no toppings.
And I think as the 3 of them are getting their ice cream, and
$2.
Kevin, you are at a table, you also see at the table next to you, there's just a little girl with an ice cream cone and a scoop, and she's clearly been trying to lick her ice cream for the past minute, but keeps missing because she's just staring at you. Not necessarily scared, but do you respond in any way, or are you just used to it?
Yeah, I think I just have like my middle torso just kind of swivels to the side to where I'm doing like this, and I just wave at her.
I think she waves back and finally gets her tongue to reconnect with her ice cream.
Sits down heavily, making friends.
Always.
Hello there.
Kevin, you totally missed it in the first half. Like, they were running around, and then one of them tripped and then flew up in the air like the gravity had been reversed. It was crazy.
I saw your Snapchats, yes.
It
Yeah.
like, wasn't. They had you in the first half. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It was a close game, but I knew we'd pull it out in the end.
You guys are so good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just hoping that we can make it to the playoffs this year. I'd really like to see our team through it for my last season.
Totally gonna happen, you guys. There's no way that you're not gonna make it to the playoffs.
Thank you. I appreciate your positivity.
That's what my dad says.
The band sounded great out there today, by the way, Mai.
Thanks. I'm first chair now, so carrying everyone.
That's incredible.
Good job.
They still won't let me play the bass.
The marching band?
Yeah.
There's a pit.
Oh no, I mean the bass guitar.
Oh.
I keep trying to get him to add some more strings, but like, no, traditional music. No, we can't change it. No, authority.
Well, you know, my dad was good friends with Dean Felton. I'll go and talk to him and see if maybe they can work something like that out. I'm going to set a reminder for myself to talk to him first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Try and get string instruments added to the band.
That seems unfair that they don't do that they wouldn't let you play whatever you wanted.
There's
Oh,
the
no,
orchestra. You could be in the orchestra.
Yeah, I play the cello in the orchestra.
You're so musically talented.
Thanks.
Are you having any shows soon?
And I think it's about that time that each of you on your communicator of choice, so whether, you know, it's a smartwatch, an earpiece you always have, or just on your cell phone, you get a ping
I have
that's
a beeper.
essentially... it's a, you know, reminder. It's like, hey, your patrol's coming up soon. Start heading to base.
You Ramona Flowers? Is that what's going on here?
I didn't mean to.
Are you going full Manic Pixie Dream Girl? Are
Yeah.
you about to like get on a scooter and and just wheel
Yeah.
out of here? Okay.
No, Heelys.
Heelys, gotcha. Ready for patrol?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can anyone else fly?
I
No.
can lift myself telekinetically, I guess.
Oh. Well, I was gonna fly there. Unless you guys want to walk.
I mean, I was just gonna take my car, but
I
guess
could-
that makes sense.
Telekinesis all there. We could all just...
I can pick everyone up and jump very far.
yeah, I'm just gonna take my car.
All right then.
Hey, Hector.
Yes.
I'll race you. She takes off.
You races her.
Bye, Kevin. See you in a bit.
Bye.
And drive like a normal person.
Not a normal person. I'm not even a person.
You're a person. You're just not a human. Hector and Sabrina, do we want to have you two both roll Unleash Your Powers, or
I
should
do.
we just say you arrive at see
Absolutely.
who gets there first?
I have a 0 for this. I'm sure it'll go well. Well,
I rolled a 10.
5. How how am I rolling so badly?
That's a 5. You rolled literally half what she rolled.
Guys, I'm gonna improve again before we even get to the conflict.
Yeah. So that is one of the nice things about masks is whenever you roll a failure, a miss, you get to take advancement, improvement, potential is what they call it in this one. And 5 potential gives you an advancement. It's one of the ways to level up in this, but Sabrina gets there well before the rest of you, able to, you know, go straight as the crow flies.
Or the, yeah.
Yep. But gets there, and, you know, are you waiting out front for everyone, or did you go on in to start getting changed, and you'll meet them in the ready room?
I don't need to get changed. I just shapeshift into what I'm gonna be. But I think she like stands there, she's like waiting for him like to show up, and then she kind of like it's like that like slow montage of like her like standing there and sitting, like playing with something on the ground, waiting.
He's
I don't know
tired.
with
He
that
played a
roll
whole
if
game
he
of
gets
football.
if he actually gets there after Mai and Chris and Kevin too.
Just like floating along. I'm imagining Chrysalis like, oh, there you are.
Giant
Follow-
metallic bug floating through the
I love him.
Oh, hi, Kevin.
Where's Hector?
Seems like skidding in. I got lost.
That's okay.
Not surprised.
Big giant skyscraper with the, you know, the sword and shield logo in
know,
the middle of the
at-
city.
Ground level, when you're moving really fast, everything's very blurry.
I saw a radio tower and I thought that was it, and I went the wrong way.
Oh.
They don't look remotely the same.
Hey.
They
Sometimes
don't.
it's difficult to see things.
No, you're
Yes.
right. I should try harder next time. Make sure I stay focused. I'll go run back, and then I'll come back again and make sure I do it right
we
this
don't
time.
have time.
All right.
Maybe later, though.
Later, yes.
Your communicators do all beep that, hey, you've got 5
Oh.
minutes to be in the ready room.
Oh, I gotta change.
Subrina like snaps her fingers and her form changes to her Corvid outfit.
Yeah, okay, show it off. Some
I
of
just
us
start
have to
walking
wear
in.
clothes.
So for those of you who
Assuming
need
upstairs
it, there are locker rooms, gear storage, whatever it is you need to do your superheroing. They've got it for you in the Squires section of the basement. And like I said, it's a skyscraper. There are offices, a lot of stuff for the bureaucracy of running the paladins, but underneath, in true superhero fashion, is where all the cool stuff is. And so, as you go down, first it's the paladins, which are the fully fledged adult superheroes. Then there's the knights level, which is the collegiate level, sort of those who are going through that hero training course at the nearby college. And then underneath that, it's still nice enough that it's not like you're just shoved in the spare room in the basement, but, you're still towards the bottom, and that is where the squires get ready. But as I said, locker room, gear storage. There's also, for when you're ready, there is a room full of refreshments, video games, stuff for doing homework if you, need to squeeze some of that in. But you're all there, getting ready. What does everyone's outfit look like, if it's any different from what we've already seen?
Corvid's is very specific because I used it before. So her outfit is a dark blue cape. Her hair has changed to a green. It's long. She has bangs. She's wearing like a gas mask that's glowing, like a rave mask, basically. It's glowing green on all of the fronts of it. Her eyes glow green. She's wearing a sort of like a corset that is made out of feathers, and then she has armored shoulders, and then her like black leather, or I think they're dark green leather pants, and high, I guess up to her knee boots.
Nice. Anyone else got a costume and gear?
After you.
Yeah, I don't have any gear, but I have a costume. Yeah, Etherea's costume is all black and silver spandex. It is like spandex top with like it's sort of like cut like diagonal, where part of it is silver and part of it is black, and the pants are the same, and then knee-high boots, gloves, and then just like a very thin like black eye mask. You know, like Danny Phantom wears.
And Hector's is also like classic superhero, like spandex one piece, but it's like golden up top and kind of fades, golden shimmering up top and sort of fades to a white near his legs. There's a golden kind of plate in the center. It's like that's actually metal, that has a big G on it, and then he has two golden gauntlets that he wears that are kind of magical.
They
So
should
I had to
call
work in
you the
magic
beacon.
weaponry. Do they call someone that?
No.
I do like that though. The beacon.
Wait,
I shine my light on you, you'll be really shiny.
No, he already has a thing.
Chrysalis, any changes that you make to your form for superhero?
I think it gets a little bit like spikier and more intimidating. But then I also just put on like something that has like an insignia on the front and back, just so people can be like, "Oh, he's with the Squires."
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, it's not a giant bug monster to kill us.
Yeah.
We had a moment where there were giant bug monsters that we had to fight. It got really confusing.
Jeez.
So,
All right, so you all make it into the ready room in your outfits, and just as the communicator ticks down to it's time for patrol, in walks Athenis, the head of the Paladins, who, you've seen her around, you know who she is, obviously, but how often she actually, interfaces with the Squires, it's not a regular thing. Usually you have another Paladin or one of the Knights giving you your orders, but tonight you got Athenas herself, who walks in, like I said before, 30s to 40-ish. It's a little hard to tell because she's got that super physique, but you also know, based on the publicly available knowledge about her powers, she also is incredibly smart, and she's got, essentially Bullseye's thing of impeccable aim, can ricochet projectiles however she wants. And so as part of her outfit, comes in silver hair and eyes, wears what looks like stylized breastplate, plays into the Greek mythology aspect with her outfit, but has, a stowaway bow. She's got collapsible spears and swords. She's got essentially a whole arsenal stored on her person, but it just looks like she has a whole bunch of utility pouches. But she comes in, looking at a clipboard, looks at the clock. Oh, good. Squad 7, just on time. Good work. Now, you probably find it a bit odd that I'm here briefing you this evening, but it's, we've got lots of activity in the city tonight, so we want everyone to be out there keeping an eye on things. I'm here, running Overwatch, keeping things organized, but, shouldn't expect too much to happen with you all. We're directing the Paladins and the Knights to take care of the hot spots, but we still want you out, being seen, being able to see if anything escapes our notice. And to that end, going to checks her notes. Yes, we'll be having you start in, Eastern downtown. Just go around there. You know the route down there, but that's where you all will be tonight. Any questions?
Well, what's going on tonight?
Well, some of the gangs have decided tonight's a great night to make a move on each other's turf. So, got the supervillain gangs butting heads. Nothing too dangerous yet, but we've got it handled. But they've used this sort of ploy in the past to try and sneak something past us. So we want you all out there keeping an eye on things and dealing with it if it comes up.
Is there anyone specifically we should be on the lookout for?
Not that we can tell. Eastern downtown's been pretty quiet. None of the, it's neutral territory for the gang, so you shouldn't be anywhere near any of the gang disputes. But if we find more intel, if we hear something, if someone reports in that they've seen someone, we'll be sure to let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, as I said, you have your orders. Head on out to patrol and, keep the comms open in case we need to contact you.
Okie dokie.
She
Will do.
Walks back out, heads back towards the Paladin section. And so you all have your orders.
All right, team. We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we want to take the Kirby craft? Which is Subrina's alien spaceship she has.
Yes.
Yes, that way we don't get separated again.
Okay.
So what does your Kirby craft do?
There is a whole system for vehicles in this game, yes?
I don't know if it's a whole thing. The Kirby craft itself definitely has a thing where you can pick its attributes.
Yeah. You have a vehicle, something from home, detail its looks, and choose 2 strengths and weaknesses. When you're flying the ship, you can use it for different things. So I'm going to say it looks... The ceilings are slightly low, so anyone who's taller has to, slouch a little bit. But the chairs are really comfortable and very large. As far as the outside, it looks kind of like a beefed up cargo ship from Star Trek. like kind of boxy, but more futuristic than that. And then as far as the strengths and weaknesses, is there a list of things for that, or is
Yes,
it like
it's on the sheet. So you have, for the strengths, you can pick fast and maneuverable, chameleon plating, powerful weaponry, regenerating, dimension shifting, size shifting, or telepathic. And then for the weaknesses, it's got a bizarre fuel source, it's susceptible to blank, it's easily detectable, it's slow and clumsy, it's unarmed, or it's difficult to repair.
I'm gonna say it's unarmed and difficult to repair.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then as far as strengths, can you read them again, please?
There's fast and maneuverable, chameleon plating. We just said it's unarmed, so not going to have powerful weaponry. It's difficult to repair, so probably not regenerating. Dimension shifting, size shifting, and telepathic.
I'm gonna say it's telepathic and has chameleon attributes.
Nice. All right, so you all load up into the Kirby craft, which is kept in, the Paladin's garage. As you load in, you see one of the mechanics, the poor mechanic who's been tasked to your ship. There have been issues in the past where you've returned from a mission and it's been banged up, and it's been their job to figure it out. And somehow they do it, but they always request time off after working with your ship.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Corvid. Taking the ship out, I see.
Yeah. I'll try not to bang it up, okay?
Please do. Good luck out there. Fight the good fight.
Thanks, buddy.
Looking good, Gary.
Thank you, Golden Duke.
Gary.
Hi, Chrysalis. Hi, Etheria. All right. And so I also see in the chat we got a redemption for team player, which means you all get to add one to the team pool.
Ooh.
I don't know if someone already took it out of there from the football play earlier. You should have a handout team pool.
We didn't, so I'll just leave it at 1.
Yeah.
Somebody want to be in charge of that?
Oh,
No.
It should be in all players' journals. And
Oh, no, yeah. No, oh, sorry. We have a handout. I just meant I didn't take the one out of it earlier.
So if you didn't take it out, if no one messed with it, it's back to 1.
I can do it.
Sweet. Cool. The first thing that Mai does when they get on the ship is hook up her iPod to whatever speakers there are in there and start playing music.
Have to get a special converter made for Earth Tech.
Yeah. I have alien tech that I could finagle with.
Or how about this? Just an option because it's telepathic. It reads from the iPod and then is almost perfectly copying it, but you can tell it's just a really, really, really good cover of it done by the ship.
Everything just sounds a little bit flat.
Yeah. That would almost be worse.
Today it's Sum 41.
Nice. Okay.
All right, everyone, hold on. I haven't flown in a while.
The clutch. Oh.
There is no clutch. I'm flying it with my brain.
All right, so you get the Kirby craft into gear, depart through the hangar, and head towards eastern downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Hector calls shotgun.
So, how do you think the Kirby craft works? Because it's got the chameleon plating on the outside. Does that also, is it sort of invisible jet-ish, except you're also, hidden on the inside, or do you just have scanners and windows to look out of?
There are definitely, I think there's windows on the front. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm picturing more like the crafts from the Avengers, the little helo things that they fly. But it has the plating that the big helo, the big ones.
Helicarrier?
A helicarriers. It has like that, so it like reflects and they look invisible, but if you look close enough, you can probably see it.
Yep. All right, so you're flying over East Downtown. Seems pretty uneventful. You have, essentially the Paladin's radio, and you hear blips every so often of, activity over on, so-and-so street, and, Knights Team 3 moving to engage, but you all, the rest of the organization has their sections. If they need you, they'll call for you. You guys have Eastern Downtown tonight. So, you've got some time to chat. Doesn't seem like too much is happening right now. Any patrol conversations?
Does anyone have a prom date yet?
Oh, shoot. That's coming up soon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No. Damn, I need to think about that. Adding that to my list.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be so hard for you, Mr. Godlike Beauty or whatever you call it.
What was that?
What? Good. I said good luck.
Thank you. And good luck to you, too.
So does no one then? Because I don't.
No. Nope, not yet.
Oh, watch out for the corner of the building.
Oh, sorry. Got a little distracted. Yeah, so sports.
You guys want to play a game?
Yes, sports.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called Never Have I Ever.
Okay. I feel
I've
like
played
I've
this
seen
one.
this on some TV show.
Probably. So we all go around and we say something that we've never done, and anyone else who's done. I mean, usually you would drink, but
Well, we're underage, so we can't.
I mean, you can.
I just can't. So
You definitely can. I mean, you can.
Well, we're also on patrol.
That's what I was. Listen, I know you have super speed, but you should let people get to the ends of their sentences.
Was that the end of your sentence?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we do instead?
That's what I was gonna ask. I don't know, something fun.
I thought we would just put down a finger.
No, we can do that, I guess. It's boring, but... Who wants to
Sorry.
start? Hector, you do.
What? Well, it's your game. Why don't you go first?
No. I think you should. Say something you've never
Oh.
done that you think the rest of us have done. Go.
Never have I ever... Wait, it's supposed to be something that I think the rest of you have done.
Mhm.
Well, that's like the fun part, is to make people
Oh.
lose.
Never have I ever gotten a speeding ticket.
Like from a police officer, or like got yelled at for flying the Kirby craft too fast?
I think you have to get a ticket.
Can the police even do anything about the Kirby craft?
No, not really.
Then no.
Then no. All right, who's next?
Subrina, you go next.
Oh boy. Never have I ever. That's really hard. There's a lot of things I haven't done. Never have I ever gone to a dance with someone.
I have done that one, so I put a finger down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Kevin, your turn.
Never have I ever driven a car.
I have done that too.
Super fun question, Kevin.
Thought I was
Ma,
trying
your
to
turn.
make you lose.
Never have I ever had a crush on a teammate.
Like,
Like
oh, look, we're here.
Did Sabrina just put down 3 fingers?
No. I put down my middle finger for some reason, which made me put down the rest of my fingers.
Am I just looking at her?
But as that question finishes and you all are getting ready to interrogate Sabrina, your radio comes on and you hear Athena's, Squire Squad 7, do you copy?
Yes, thank you. Hi.
Hello. We've received reports that the Port Arbor Public Library, which is in your region, has some kind of disturbance going on. They have requested Paladin support. The Civilian Rescue Services is there. They've gotten most of the civilians out, but they would like a team to go in and check out and see what caused the commotion.
Okay. We're going right now. Thank you. Over and out.
I think a ping pops up on your map of the city telling you where to go. And so you head over to the public library.
You're getting better at the radio talk.
Thank you. I've been practicing. I've been trying not to sound as panicked.
You don't have to say all of them, like beginning and end. You can just pick one.
Okay.
But it's great. You're doing great.
Thanks.
You find there's a parking lot next to the library that you're able to land in. Probably have to be careful not to crush a car. But as you land, you do see there is essentially a perimeter set up by the Civilian Rescue Services, which are a team of non-powered officers and also some of the less powered individuals who have checked the area as best they can, gotten civilians they can out, and keeping other civilians back from approaching what's potentially a dangerous scene. And so you exit the Kirby craft and find someone in charge.
I'll talk to them.
Imagine Hector got out to lift up a Prius and put it somewhere else so we could land the craft somewhere.
Come on, Hector, I could lift up a Prius, okay? I'll go talk to them.
Oh.
I can say that. I drive a Prius.
All right, so you head out, Etheria taking the lead, and the officer on duty. I'm so terrible with coming up with on-the-spot NPCs. Someone tell me what this officer looks like in their name.
Got curly brown hair, a really nice face, like a very kind individual. And he's just, perplexed and overwhelmed, but just so, nice. And his name is Mutt Danson.
Well, I see Officer Willoughby from the chat, so it's Officer Mudd Willoughby. Sees you all approaching, and oh, good. The Squires. You're Etheria, right?
I am.
Oh, it's and Corvid and Golden Duke and Chrysalis. Oh, thank goodness you're all here.
What's going on?
Well, you might be able to see from here, and gestures towards the library, but there's some kind of mist going on in there. It's late. It's a Friday night. Not too many people at the library anyway, but the librarians, and kind of points over to the side where some people are, in those shock blankets and being tended to, checked over by medics. They reported someone broke in and started messing with things, and they don't seem to remember too much else, but they were able to stumble out of the library, and that's when they called us and when we called you.
Well, it's a good thing you did. You're doing great work.
I could try and see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, who would want to steal something from a library?
There are some really valuable books out there, just saying, but...
Paper's valuable?
Books are.
Huh.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Go ahead, Chrysalis.
Yeah, what you got?
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and extend my telekinetic senses out and see if I can psychically sense what's going on in the.
Okay. So that sounds like it would either be, well, sounds like it's most likely assess the situation. Yeah, so for assess the situation, roll plus superior, unless you have a move that lets you roll an alternate stat.
Nope. All right.
Oh dear, which is what roll 20 says when you get a
No.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
So, fortunately, there aren't any really hard moves I make as a GM when you fail assess the situation, but you don't really get any answers. So you reach out with your senses, and as you can see in the windows, there is this kind of gray, coiling, swirling mist, and at the front door, you're able to pull it open with your telekinesis, and the mist is just right there at the doorway. And you extend outward with your senses, and it pushes in just a little bit to the mist, but then you're not even really sure what happens, whether it pushes back or if it's just your senses can't penetrate through the mist.
The mist is funky, y'all. I can't see through it very well. Sorry.
I'm gonna go see if anyone saw anything.
What?
Well, I'm gonna go talk to the people.
Oh. Should we go look inside?
I think would be the next step, but speaking to one of the witnesses might help us know what the situation is.
I'm already walking away.
Oh, and she's gone. Okay. Well, officers, maintain the perimeter and we'll interview.
You look great. You're doing a good job.
Well, thank you, Corvid.
Okay.
So Etheria, you walk over to the librarians, and there's a few of them because again, it's a Friday night, not too many working. They were probably getting close to closing for the evening anyway when this all happened. But you can see there is, at least who you assume to be the head librarian. The matronly old woman, hair up in a bun, glasses on, seems more annoyed by all this than anything else.
This is the one thing she's good at. Hey.
Oh, some squires. So good of you to show up.
Obviously. Can you tell me what happened?
Well, as I explained to the CRS, it's a little bit fuzzy, but we were getting ready to close up for the evening when someone burst in through the doors. It started shouting something about them being the author of fate and going to educate the masses, and books started flying around and the mist started showing up, and next thing I knew, I was stumbling out the front door with the other librarians and the last few customers.
Yeah, books really aren't supposed to do that. Did you see what they looked like?
It seemed like they were a guy, but kind of pointing over at Corvid, there are shapeshifters everywhere these days. I wish I could be more helpful, but I think the mist did, mess with my head a bit.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you. And, yeah, we're gonna figure this out, so don't even worry about it.
Good luck in there. Try not to damage too many of the books.
We'll be careful.
Leans over to Kevin. Why are books valuable?
They represent information and they can be destroyed.
But isn't everything online already?
Not all books. And then some people just like to collect things.
I used to collect rocks.
So yeah, like you couldn't, like if you took a picture of the rock and just put it online, it wouldn't be the same thing, right? You want the actual rock.
Right, but on my planet we had like a 3D thing, and you just print out another one. Yeah.
So, what's the plan,
All right.
everyone?
Didn't get
We
much.
need to do something about this mist.
I would be careful. Super glad you guys didn't go in there without me. I think the mist might also be able to like mess with people. There's some memory loss happening.
Oh, that would be bad. Maybe we get a really big fan.
Right. And
blow the mist away.
Right. Let's put a pin in that one. I mean, I can go in quiet, but
Okay. I mean, all I can do is shine a light on the situation. I mean, I can either make the light or I can make it a burning light. I mean, you guys know that, but like, I could guide us. I don't think I need to breathe.
okay, well, I think the rest of us do. Actually,
I
me
do
and
as well.
Hector do. Kevin, I don't.
I can go a couple weeks without breathing. It's fine.
That's really cool.
that sounds very convenient. I'm not sure if it would affect me or not, but I don't want to take that risk. You're right.
I might have something for this. Hold on.
I mean, I can phase through and see what I can see. But...
Yeah. Well, I can alter something, and maybe I could turn on the AC system in there. Fly up on the roof and see if I can get it to turn on and filter the air, or filter it out.
So you said
that sounds like an excellent idea.
Said the front door was open though. No,
And the mist is just like at the threshold. It's not spilling out like a natural gas would.
So maybe it's a magical mist.
Magical mystical mist.
That's funny.
I think we're just going to have to risk it for the sake of our duty as squires.
Well, let me go first because I can, like, go through things.
Well, shouldn't we let Chrysalis go first? Because they don't have to breathe.
I mean, I was gonna say I can, like, literally not touch things, but that's fine too, if you wanna.
Okay. Do you wanna?
I guess since Subrina is the person I gave influence to, I will go with what Subrina's suggestion is. Like,
Yay.
sure, I can go first.
And that's a good use of influence. Which you still have influence over Chrysalis. But yeah. All right. So you approach the door, but as you get ready to enter the library, I think that's a good place for us to take our break. So we'll be back soon, everybody. 5-10 minutes. Just gonna freshen ourselves up. Maybe they'll discuss their game plan, and we'll be back before you know it. Welcome back, comic book fans. We're back from our break, refreshed and ready to find out who would have the audacity to assault the grand public institution that is our public library.
Monster.
Indeed. So, where we left off, you were getting ready to brave the mists and enter. Any last things you want to do in preparation?
Should we try getting the mist out of there first, just to see if it works?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to try something. Let's, just going to stretch a bit first. All right. We talked about this during the break, but I do want to try doing the Flash Superman thing of like creating the vortex, spinning hands, and very quickly to try to like create a vacuum to draw the mist out of the library.
All right, this sounds
Tornado
like
fist.
an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Cool.
When you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses, roll plus freak.
All right. Did one roll on the break too to just make sure my roll 20 was working. Rolled very well. Let's see if this one.
That's a 6 for the folks at home, which would be a miss.
Is there any way for me to help?
I can encourage you.
I can't remember if helping is like a legit move in this. It's just the team
So
pool, right?
yeah, there's the team pool, which you've alluded to and kind of used with the football game earlier, but what it is it's this resource that, you know, certain things add to it, and the main way to use it and subtract from the pool is to help out your teammates. If you can conceivably help them in a way that would help them with what they're trying to do, you get to add one, spend one from the team pool to add one to their roll. So if any of you can think of a way that you could conceivably help Golden Duke with what he's trying to do right now, you could bump it up from a miss to a partial success.
I could use my telekinesis to try and create a pressure differential to try and help vacuum some of it out.
Okay. That would work. So whoever's keeping track of the pool, subtract 1 from it, which I believe puts you at 0. But so that brings it up to a 7. So, and I forget if it's your choice of marking the condition or letting me tell you if it's unstable or temporary, or if I get to choose there.
It's been so long. It says mark condition or the GM will tell you.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's your call.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards unstable or temporary, partially because I don't want to send you all in with conditions already marked. But so I think what happens is by your powers combined, Chrysalis and the Golden Duke working together, you are able to draw the mist right at the threshold out and away, spreading around and past your team so that no one gets hit, and the civilians are kept far enough back they're in no danger of it reaching them. But it's pretty clear that you're not able to pull out all the mist in the whole building. You've essentially cleared out the entrance to the library, and so you can go in there and you can see the lights are still on, and aside from some books and stuff knocked down, it's not like there's a fire or anything raging inside the library, so it's not smoke. It is some kind of odd mist. So you're able to get a foothold into the library, but as soon as the Golden Duke stops his arm, you see it starts like slowly filling back up.
Does it seem like the mist is filling, like there's some place from within the library that it is coming from?
Yeah,
that we can tell.
Because it is coming from like where you've cleared. It's coming to fill back up, and you see like the little bit that's pooling at your feet already is once again stopping at the threshold.
Right. I don't think that'll last for very long, but we should go ahead and enter while we can.
Just to be clear, we're all doing this?
We should go as a team.
And I will give you one more thing. You were able to briefly clear it up enough that you could see into the library proper, so it seems almost more like the mist is just at the peripheries of the library and not filling up the whole thing.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, let's do it quick. Corvid, anime runs inside.
Oh no.
Wait, you said like Naruto runs, like arms back? All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
With her cape floating in the wind.
Every time.
That's such a cool way to run.
Please don't start doing it.
All right, I won't start doing that. He zooms inside. He does try doing that for a second, and then realizes it's really difficult.
Pretty sure you used to do that as a kid, anyways, and just start smashing my way through.
I'm gonna let all of them go and then move in kind of around the edges. Is storming here really bad, you guys. Trying to use my stealth abilities as much as possible.
Okay. I think just for this, you don't need to, make any rolls. You are trained enough and aware enough of your surroundings that you can keep to the shadows, break sight lines while still keeping an eye on your party and where they're heading. You do kind of end up wandering through a section of the mist that, gets up to your waist, but, as I said, you're able to clear the mist and you're inside the library. You do see it kind of forming back up behind you. More or less closing you back in to the library. But the other thing you all see when you have come into the library is that aside from some books and stuff being knocked down, seems like there are still people in here just chilling and using the library as a library. Like you see someone at the info desk, the intake desk, typing away at a computer. You see some people over at some of the tables with textbooks piled around them, some people using the public computers. What do you all do?
Go up in front of one of them. Ma'am, you need to leave. This is not a safe place to be.
What are you talking about? This is the library. This is one of the safest places there is. They've got great community resources for us to use.
Gets close and says, I think you might be under the effect of some nefarious metahuman. There's been an attack on the library. You need to leave immediately.
Well, aren't you just adorable in your outfit? I didn't know it was Halloween already.
It's not, ma'am. I am the Golden Duke. I am here on behalf of the Paladins to assist in this endeavor. The police are outside. I do have a move for this called Symbol of Authority.
Okay.
When you give an NPC an order based on an authority they recognize, I roll plus Savior. On a hit, they get to choose.
Okay. Go ahead, and that sounds like a good use for that move.
Okay. Finally! It's a 10. So on a hit, they choose one. I wish it had put up the thing. They can either do what I say, get out of my way, they attack me at a disadvantage, or they freeze. And on a 10 plus, I also take +1 forward against them at anything. So
okay. So sounds like you said there was one for making them do what you want.
Yeah, do what you say is the first one. Yeah. Okay,
so I think they're kind of the Golden Duke. I'm flattered you're paying attention to little me, but I guess if you say it's unsafe, I'll head on out.
Yes, ma'am. Before the mist closes, please.
And she starts and heads, towards the doorway where the mist was, but it's just her. Do you turn to watch her go, or do you turn towards other civilians?
I do make sure she gets out safely before moving to the other civilians.
Okay, so you see her disappear out through the mist, and as soon as you turn back around, she's right there again. But she looks a little different this time. There are just aspects of her face that seem different, maybe like a slightly different shade of the shirt she was wearing.
Did anybody else just... No?
What did the rest of you do?
I'm trying to get to the center of whatever this is. where it's coming from.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the mist is kind of creeping along on the floor. Does seem like it's flowing down, the stairs up to the next floor. This is, a multi-store building you're in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go upstairs.
Okay. Now I do have a soundtrack playing. Is it loud enough for the rest of you? Do I just have my volume down too much?
I can hear it.
Okay.
No, I can hear it, yeah.
I think I just have my volume down too much. So Etheria starts creeping up the stairs. What about Corvid or Chrysalis? What are you up to?
I think Corvid is very close to Chrysalis right now. Like, this is a very spooky environment. She's got her eyes are glowing in this darkness and her mask, and she's like, just really doesn't know what to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we... Oh, I guess we don't need to try and get anyone out of here then, do we?
I don't think they're real. Can you read their minds?
That's... Yeah, I telepathy is telepathy mind reading? Or is it just
Yes.
talk to them?
You could
Okay,
allow some
yeah.
mind reading.
I'll try and reach out and make some mental connections with folks.
Yeah, I would say the reading their mind is a little trickier than just reaching out and speaking to them. So I think this would be an unleash your powers, because you're kind of extending your senses here. So go ahead and roll +3, which I think is your good stat
Oh, we got another chat redemption for another,
for another team player. So
Puts us
add
back
more
to
the
one.
pool. Yep.
Yay. When we get more than one, I have a move for it.
Well, dang.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a
Oh, I get-
15.
Whoa!
Kapow.
So that's double sixes +3, which let me just double check.
I think that's the highest you can roll.
You can roll a 16. The most modifier you can add to any roll is a +4.
Wow.
But so yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty dang good.
All about
So
that
with-
label balance.
Yeah, so on a hit you do it. So you reach out to some of these people that are here, and it's mostly just static. But the guy over on the computer who's typing away, all you get is just type. At the book, you see someone flipping pages, just read. And the person back next to the Golden Duke, it's more just it's a little clearer. It's less methodical, because they have been shaken out of whatever apparently pre-programmed routine they were in, and they're just like, what do they want? How to stop them? How to get them to leave? Go away. But then you also hear her more or less repeating her exchange with the Golden Duke from before.
I'll just kind of telepathically to everyone. The people seem like NPCs or something. Their thoughts are repetitive and on the task at hand. The one you talk to, Hector, definitely wants us to leave.
Okay, Roger.
So we need to find the source of this.
Yes.
Right. Ma'am, we'll be right back. We're going to
Hector.
save you.
She's not real.
Oh, right.
I told you, we don't need saving. This is the library. This is where people go to save themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Etheria?
Oh no. Where'd she go? Etheria.
Would we know that she tends to sneak off ahead of us to do her own
Probably.
thing?
Yeah.
Or I guess that's
Oh.
a sappy answer.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, you can read her like a book. Yeah, she tends to do a lot of. When you guys are all making a lot of noise and talking, just like casually going, I'm just gonna go see what's over here, because if I need to get away, I just phase through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find the source of the mist. She's probably already gone there then.
Okay.
And it's easy enough for the rest of you to tell the mist is kind of coming from down the stairs.
Oh, you're right, Corvid. You seem unsure.
It's kind of spooky in here.
It'll be okay. I'll protect everyone.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll make sure the back is covered.
Starts moving ahead.
Okay, let's switch back over to Etheria for a little bit. So, crept your way up the stairs. Seems like whatever illusion, hypnosis whoever's doing this is doing only bothered with the ground floor. Here it's more of a mess. Half the books are off the shelves, no people around at all, but still some more mist coming from towards a back room where you see some signs towards offices, head librarian that away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna head that way. Just trying to make as little noise as possible in case anybody is still in here. If I can find like a room that it's coming from, then I'll just like kind of phase through a little bit to see, I guess, what's going on.
Yep. So you head that way, kind of following the mist, and it seems like it is getting higher up. Like there were parts downstairs where it was up to your waist. Now it's almost up to your chest. So it is getting thicker up here, but you're still able to keep your head above it. So you make your way back towards where it seems to be emanating from, and there is an open doorway that the smoke seems to be coming through. Do you peek through there, or do you still find a wall to phase through and check things out?
I think I kind of like go around a little bit, so I'm not just like walking through a doorway, and just kind of like phase like in the corner, just in case anyone's in there, just kind of like phase through.
Yeah, and I will say this is to the head librarian's office.
Okay.
So you phase through the corner, kind of just, and you see kind of standing at a desk with their back to you currently, standing at a computer desk, trying to click through files, typing some things. You can't quite make out exactly what it is they're doing. It looks kind of just like a guy. Standing there, he's got little on the scrawny side. You can see he's got square frame glasses on because it's there's the glare from the screens on them. He's got suspenders on. Seems like he's got a bow tie. Very typical, almost stereotypical nerd attire. And you kind of hear him muttering under his breath of, "What are they doing? That's curriculum, it's outreach, it's not enough. It's not enough." And the smoke does seem to kind of be billowing out of his pockets and onto the floor and then heading out of the room.
Okay. I will phase back out of the wall and then on comms. I think everyone just hears. Okay, so I got a nerd up here with powers.
What powers?
I don't know. He's talking about curriculums and how it's not enough, but the smoke is coming from his pockets. Probably his pocket protector.
What program?
I don't know.
Should we go up and talk to them?
Does he go to our school?
Did he look familiar at all?
No, he definitely looked like an adult. Maybe you could have passed him on the street. You have really no way of knowing.
Okay. Can you guys be quiet for once?
Should we talk to him?
I can try, but I need at least one of you to not be kicking down doors in the middle of it.
No promises.
I know.
It was a one time. I won't kick down any doors.
Well, it's open, so.
Okay. Then I definitely won't kick down any doors.
Okay. Come upstairs. Slowly. Quietly. Not having a meltdown. Head librarian's office. Just gonna be cool.
I don't know if I can be cool, but okay, over and out.
I think you're very cool.
You can do it.
Really?
I believe in you.
We sneak upstairs.
All right. So the rest of you work your way up to where Etheria is waiting for you. Do any of you peek in through the open doorway?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. You see more or less what Etheria saw, but those of you at the doorway, you also see that there is a mirror on the desk that did not catch Etheria from the direction she entered, but is looking at the doorway. And you see the person's head turn and look at the mirror, and then they spin around and look at you all, and they look frightened and surprised a bit, but as I said, scrawny guy, glasses, suspenders, bow tie, but and then he kind of slaps his hand down on a book on the table, an open book, and he into the book.
Guys,
We didn't do it.
We didn't make any noise.
We just looked.
And
did
then
I tell you you could look?
You didn't.
You didn't tell us about the
coulda.
mirror.
and from around you all, seeming almost coming from the mist itself, you hear a cackling, echoing laughter. You foolish children, this is my story. Certainly not for or about children, but seeing as children you are, and it is my mission to educate the masses, I believe it is time for your education as well. And the book opens back up, and you all start to feel a pull towards it, like a gravitational pull. You maybe have a second to do something before you get sucked into the book after the guy.
Try to grab onto everyone and hold onto the corner of the wall to keep people from getting sucked in.
I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, try and fly away.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe a defend someone roll.
Ooh, that's a thing in this.
Yeah.
It's a thing I'm actually very good at.
Me too. That's Savior, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me make sure I'm on the right soundtrack.
Yeah.
10.
All right. That's 10 for Hector. I'll say you've got one arm on the doorway. Who do you grab with your other hand?
Orva said she was flying.
Mm-hmm.
Etheria's not there.
Chrysalis
So-
doesn't really have legs, does he?
Yeah. No, he's it's not just like a cocoon. I've got
He's
like
a person.
arms and legs. Well, it's more of a bug thing. I've got like a bunch of legs and about 6 arms and stuff like that.
If Chrysalis seems like the only one that's getting that doesn't have an immediate way to get out of it, then grabs onto Chrysalis to keep him from getting pulled down.
I'm just tearing up the ground as like my legs are digging into the wooden floors. Just
Pretty much.
Like a cat trying to get put in their crate.
And so I will say that, allows the Golden Duke to secure Chrysalis, at least for the moment. What about Etheria and Corvid?
Okay, if Corvid starts to fly away, I'm going to phase out of whatever wall I was in before, and just like sort of position myself between the book and her, and just kind of brace. So if she gets sucked this way, she at least has to like knock into me before.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll say you can also roll to defend someone.
Okay.
And since I rolled a 10, I get to choose an additional
right,
thing.
yep.
I'm going to add a team to the pool.
Very good. I think that puts you all up to 2.
Yeah.
I rolled in a 12.
Okay.
It's Savior. No, wrong one.
Is it in roll 20?
Oh no, I was rolling dice.
Okay. But so that's a 12 to protect someone. So yeah, I think you're able to. Corvid, you think maybe with your flight you'd be able to get away, but it almost backfires because now you have no traction. But
Right.
Etheria appears there, facing back, snapping back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, and you slam into her.
I turn into a cat.
So
Oh, no.
lessening your impact against your teammate.
So I have a thing for this. It's called There When It Matters. When you defend someone on a hit, you can hold 1 instead of choosing one from the list, and
Okay.
spend that hold later when they're in danger to arrive just when they need you.
Okay, so you're going to choose that instead of one of the standard options?
Yes, I'm going to.
I changed my mind. I've turned into a monkey, but like one of the little cute ones.
Like
And
the
I'm just
Pikachu
like-
monkey?
Yeah, backpacked
Aw.
on your stomach.
It's adorable.
Okay.
Is the book open or closed? that
Yeah,
we're
it's
being sucked
open.
into?
It's, the mist is kind of going into it. It's pretty clear that there's the pull from it.
How close am I to it? Are we being sucked into the pages?
Yeah, into the pages. And, I'll say you're 15 feet away. It's the head librarian's
Oh.
office, but it's still not that big.
Okay. So probably can't reach it. I'm gonna try and close the book with telekinesis while I'm being held here.
Okay. I think this is an unleash your powers roll because you're kind of competing with its own super power stuff.
What? That is freak, correct?
Yes, roll plus freak. That is another kapow roll. So that is a full success. So I think you reach out now that you are being held fast by the Golden Duke. You're able to focus more of your attention and abilities on your telekinesis. You reach out and the book's clearly resisting, but you're able to snap it shut, and immediately the pull stops. And so you all are able to stand there and regain your footing. But I think at that moment, before you're able to do much more than regain your footing, you hear that voice again. But rather than the mist, which has dissipated because it was getting sucked into the books, you hear the voice coming from all the books in the library. Well, aren't you some naughty children? I was going to tell you an interesting bedtime story, but if you won't come to the story's just going to have to come to you. And you see books out in the upper floor. They start opening seemingly at random, pages turning. And coming from out of one of the books, coming from over by the classic literature section, there is a big thumping. You see shelves getting knocked over, and you see some albino coloration tentacles start pulling their way forward and towards you all. What do you do? I will say that is the villain, Dewey Decimation, having taken a blow, so they have marked a condition. Let me just make sure I am marking the right one for them. They have marked angry.
Hector, I think we're gonna need you over there.
Hector smiles as he is suggested to do his thing and just goes leaping into the fray and just punching at anything and everything.
So as you leap over that way, punching at anything and everything, it's a lot of tentacles, as what seems to, based on your knowledge of beasts and things, is a kraken.
He punches the kraken.
All right, that sounds like directly engage a threat.
Okay. Let's see. Once again, I can roll Savior as long as I do not choose to frighten or surprise is my option.
Is this enough of a fight to do the team pool thing, or am I
yes,
being
yes.
dramatic?
Oh,
I
that's a good
forgot about
question.
that part. So that is a very important part of masks. So when you, how do they call it? Do I not have the thing for this? So it's the adding team to the pool handout. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, you add 2 to the pool, and then there are a bunch of questions here, but you just get 2. Let's go ahead and start some of the combat music. But so, when you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. So you need to decide amongst you, and this can kind of happen, right now out of character, who among you is the leader in this encounter, who is sort of calling the shots for the team.
I think Etheria is at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The beacon! I have one
All
thing.
All right, so does the leader have influence over every teammate?
No.
No, I do not.
Okay, so you don't get one there. Does everyone have the same purpose in this fight?
No, I'm a bad guy.
Surprise, they're my tentacles.
She is a shapeshifter.
Yes, we
I
are.
I think so.
Yeah,
Save
I
the
think,
day.
I think you're all on the same page for this, so add another team to the pool.
Okay.
Does any team member mistrust the leader of the team?
No.
Aw.
No, very specifically trust everyone.
Aw.
So you're good there, you don't have to remove one. Do you think your team is ill-prepared or off balance?
I don't think so. I think we're kind of confused.
If we'd gotten pulled into the books, I might say
Yeah.
maybe we'd
Yeah.
we held ourselves. I think we're
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, I
on
think we're doing
balance
okay.
right now.
Yeah, so I think that saves you. So yeah, you don't have to remove one, so I think that gives you an additional 3
5.
to your pool, so
And
you're
then-
up to
Yeah.
5.
And then
Yeah.
I can do something.
Oh yeah?
It is. So the leader of the team, if somebody wants to, I don't know if it's somebody. I can mark a condition to avoid removing a team from the pool. I don't know if that's just me spending a team or if it's anybody.
The leader of the team, so that would be for going through those questions, because they're the last 2 that if someone mistrusts you or you're off balance, you remove a
Oh.
team.
Yes.
You could mark a condition to
Got it,
keep that from happening.
That makes sense. Okay, perfect.
So you now have 5 in your team pool, and we have the Golden Duke directly engaging the Kraken.
And chat, you can give us more if you want. Check out our store. Just saying.
That is a 9.
So on a hit, trade blows, and on 7 to 9, pick 1. The Kraken
So
growls.
to engage a threat. So I can't, because of my move, I can't choose to impress, surprise, or frighten. But I will say I create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay.
So probably trying to tie up as much of like the tentacles and stuff, punching with my big magical gauntlets and stuff, trying to like wrestling a few of them, creating this opening to try to hopefully they can see something else they can help with.
Yep. So I think as you are doing this, you are able to occupy, some of the tentacles, but a few of the free ones are still able to, get some hits in on you. Let me just double check the wording for take a powerful blow. Because yeah, I think with the Kraken smacking at you.
I have a move for taking a powerful blow too.
Okay.
If they are if from someone with far greater power than I. It's called Never Give Up, Never Surrender. I can roll Savior, and I get some additional options if I instead of using the normal take a powerful blow move.
Okay. So yeah, let's do that. And I think, at least right now, it seems like this person has a lot more power than you. They're able to summon a Kraken out of a book.
Yeah. So I will roll that.
So now I assume with your special move, higher numbers are better, because this is one of the weird moves in the game where you actually...
This is instead. So when you take a powerful blow from someone with far greater power than you can use this move instead of the basic move, roll plus Savior. On a hit, you stand strong and choose one. So I can either get an opportunity or opening against the attacker, rally from the hit, inspire the team, add one team to the pool, or keep your attacker's attention. And I think I'm going to say keep the attacker's attention.
Okay. So you have very handily got the Kraken tied up. Normally what happens with take a powerful blow is the player rolls plus their conditions marked, which in this case would have been 0. And if they roll high, that's actually bad with this move. But you have your special move. It's great. It's fine. And I'm realizing I probably should have just had you maybe mark a condition instead. But we are all good here. So the Golden Duke has the Kraken mostly tied up. There are still a couple loose tentacles flailing about, but what do the rest of you do?
Does it look like there's anything else coming out of any of these books?
Not currently, but the other books are still, flipping through. Pages seem to be turning.
I think I'm going to go try and help take out this Kraken. I don't want a bunch of things to pile up on us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm just going to charge full on after the Golden Duke and just kind of jump at it, legs and arms, stabbing at it wildly.
Okay. That sounds like also directly engage a threat.
All right. And I have a thing for when I directly engage a threat, I can mark a condition and I can choose an additional option on the directly engage a threat thing. So I think I am going to do that.
Okay, and is that irrespective of whatever you actually roll? You get to choose one and mark a condition?
Yeah, even on a miss, I get to choose an additional option on the
okay,
the thing. And I assume I choose, right? It says,
yes. Let me
mark a condition to choose. Yeah.
Let me find your playbook and also go ahead and roll the move because you'll be doing that anyway.
Okay. Do I have a plus from Hector's helping people out with his success or whatever?
Well, so you could either keep its attention or create an opportunity, Sean. Those were your options.
Yes, and I chose to.
You chose keep its attention.
Yeah, I could have chose.
Oh, okay.
I could have chose. I get an opportunity or opening
okay.
against it, or I take it to get its attention.
Okay.
And I did choose as my engage a threat to create an opportunity for my allies.
Right. Yep. So I'll say you can take a +1 to this as well. Though your total bonus to roll can never exceed +4.
That's fine. This is battle. I only have a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that is with the +1 in there.
It should be.
Yeah, it's 2d6 +2. It's showing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 9, 7 to 9. So you get to choose one option. You trade blows, but if you're also marking a condition because of your move, you get to pick another option.
Okay. I think I want to go with yeah, take something from them, and I think I want to have just like gone in and chopped off a few of these tentacles,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go with resist or avoid their blows.
Okay, so yeah, I think that works well. So you go and you said you've got these spikes on. I think you go and sort of not quite turtle shelling up, but spinning around, and these tentacles start trying to. Some of the few free ones lash at you, but as they hit you and hit your spikes, they actually just cut and fall apart, and you realize it's just made of paper. And so with that realization, you're able to get in and quickly shred up the core of the Kraken, and it falls away. And the Golden Duke is left standing there with a few, tentacles that are just dissolving into, like a paper sculpture. So it's no longer feels wet and meaty like it did a moment ago, as your friend Chrysalis has slain the Kraken. That is going to cause the villain, Dewey Decimation, to make another move here, as they mark the afraid condition, and you hear them calling out again. You kids, what? You shouldn't have this power. You're children. You're mere children. Don't you know that you should just be going to school and listening to the adults? We know what's best for you. But as they say that, you see a lot of the books that were flipping around start actually zipping across the room, and they form a barrier cutting the four of you off from another section of the floor. And in the middle of that book, another book opens, and emerging out of it, this time, is the form of a dragon. As it starts, it's halfway out of the book right now, the wings are out, front claws, but it's not fully out of the book just yet. I think it's time for Corvid or Etheria to make a move.
Corvid is going to say, "Hey, I'll be 18 in 2 months. And besides, I'm already an adult from where I'm from, so yeah, I'm gonna try to assess the situation."
Okay. It also sounds like you are attempting to reject someone's influence, because there's this adult trying to tell you, hey, you're just a kid.
I can roll for that.
Yeah, so I think you can do both. So go ahead and try and reject their influence.
7.
7, okay. So you get to choose one, because on a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. So you get to choose one of the options there.
Rejecting influence, okay. Yep. I don't have a condition yet. So am I shifting one of my labels up?
Yes, so you can shift one of your labels up and another one of your labels down.
Okay.
So pretty much all the time, whenever you're shifting a label, one moves up and one moves down, but you get to pick which ones you shift.
I'm going to take +1 forward against them.
Okay, so you're going to cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. Okay. So then, would you want to use this +1 forward on the assess the situation roll?
Yes, I want to see where he is, where the greatest threat is, because he's just pulling up these dudes. I don't think that he's these creatures. I think that we gotta find which book he's in.
You're gonna have to roll the assess the situation first, but you get to add your +1.
A 7.
Okay, so you get to ask one question, and it sounds like you're picking what here is the biggest threat.
Is that with a +1?
Yes, that was with my +1, because I only have +1 superior. Hold on. Assess the situation. Well, I guess my question is, how can we best end this quickly? Because, we're fighting this thing, but that's not him. Where is he, and how can we end this quickly?
Yep. It does seem like, because before, even though you couldn't quite see it, it didn't seem like he had to form up the books to release the Kraken. It came out of one of the books. This time he is using the books as a diversion of some sort to hide something, and is also throwing the dragon out at you all. So you gather he might be himself on the other side of the book wall.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna tell Etheria. Go that way. He's over there.
All right, Etheria, what do you do with this info?
Yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to be stealthy because it's one of my 2 powers. I'm just kind of like, I think she mostly like keeps to the shadows because obviously she's dark and brooding, but is kind of like phasing in and out just to like not be seen, and like I'll make my way around there, try to get to it.
I don't know if you need to roll for this because that is just like your basic power set. Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily need to do that unless... Yeah, no. So I think you can phase through there. You're at the book wall. Do you try and phase through it, or what do you do once you're at the book wall?
Can I tell? I guess like Corvid pointed me to like a specific spot. Can I tell where he is?
Yeah, I mean, I think because this book wall is kind of just bisecting part of the floor, or maybe not that. It's more like he's put himself in a corner, but there's a wall of books
Okay.
blocking that off.
I think what Etheria would do is try to like pinpoint exactly where he is, like exactly where the weak spot is.
Okay.
And then tell Hector where it is.
Okay. Let's see. I think this...
Because he do punch.
Yeah. I don't want to just have you guys roll in the same moves again. I'm trying to figure out if there's something other than assess the situation you could roll here.
So I have a move called Straight Up Creepin', which is when you scope out a person or place. I get to roll mundane, essentially, to scope something out and then ask questions.
Okay, so I think you could use that.
Straight Up Creepin'. My mundane is good. 6. Well, that's an 8.
Ooh.
So mine is on a 7 to 9. Ask 1.
Okay, what are your questions?
I will say, or for me also, what's the best way in? For punching.
Yeah.
Mostly, but...
well, for punching, there is kind of a dragon in the way. That's gonna make it a little difficult for him to get to the wall. For you, you might be able to try phasing through the books, but if it's anything like how Chrysalis struggled with the book with his telekinesis, there might be more resistance than you're used to.
Well, you know, I'm gonna try anyway.
Yeah, so it's either you can phase through or help your team take down the dragon, and that might open things up.
I'm gonna try to phase through because I think she thinks she can cut it off at the source.
Okay, so that will be an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Okay, it's gonna be bad. Well, nope, that's a 6.
Oof.
So -1.
Does anyone think they can spend some team from the pool to maybe help her out?
So, what are we seeing right now from
so
what she's
there
doing?
is this wall, this corner-ish wall of books. There's a dragon emerging from the corner, roaring, smoke coming out of its mouth, doing the whole dragon thing. You all see Etheria off to one side, kind of out of the dragon's view, near the wall of books. You see her start to phase through, but it's not going as easily as it normally does for her.
See, my only instinct is to punch the dragon. I don't know if that will actually help her.
I can distract the dragon by lighting up.
These are both things you could do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Hector will punch the dragon eventually. It's just whether or not that can be the assist or somebody else do the assist, and then he will do that.
I could try and like mess with his concentration by just making like an enormous amount of like mental noise in his head if he's over there.
Yeah. I think let's go with Corvid lighting up because so far you haven't gotten to show off too many of your powers yet. So go ahead and spend the team from the pool. Corvid, how do you light yourself up? I also assume you changed back from a kitten at some point.
Oh yes, yeah. I turned back from a monkey as I was assessing the situation, and I. So her eyes and her gas mask glow normally in this form, but she, her eyes get brighter, and the gas mask starts to have beams come out of it instead of just the ambient light. And she kind of opens up her hands, and from behind the cape, light just starts shining out, and she's like starts floating up in the air, trying to draw attention.
Which I think you successfully do. That the dragon has pulled itself fully out of the book now and is flying straight at you. But Etheria, you notice that once the dragon disconnects itself from the book it was coming out of, that resistance is far less, and you are able to phase through. Let's go ahead and have you mark a condition for that, though.
That seems fair.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe insecure, because you're like, oh, I guess I'm not such hot shit.
Sure.
All right.
Real quick, I got a friendly chat redemption here for our good friend Kevin to clear a condition.
Yeah, because I mean, you never even told us which condition you self-marked, but it's gone now.
Okay.
In the chat.
Insecure.
Yeah. So, Etheria, you see your team dealing with the dragon. You know they've got it, so you don't feel too guilty about leaving them to it, even though you see it charging straight for your alien friend. But you phase through this wall of books, and you see popping out of one of the books the same scrawny guy from before. And he seems very shocked to see you, but there are already books starting to clomp onto him and build up around him. And it looks like we have another team from the chat. Y'all just drowning in the team pool. But this guy, Dewey Decimation, looks at you and says, what are you doing here? And since it's himself and not speaking through the books, it's not that booming ethereal voice he was using. You dang kids! Why can't you just do what's best for you?
Hey, you don't know us. Do you want to quit being a weird nerd for a second and just maybe talk to people?
Okay. It sounds like you're doing a move, but you've also done a lot of rolls, so I think maybe we'll come back to that.
That's fine.
If that's okay?
Yeah.
All right. Back with the outer team. There's a dragon flying at your glowy alien friend.
Can I try to... Can I... Hector runs at the dragon. I think he's going to try to grab its tail and just try to, flip it, pull on its tail to kind of pull it back, trying to defend, keep it away from her.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that does sound like a defend someone roll.
Okay. 11.
All right, so you get to pick 2.
So I think I just pick one. It says on a hit you keep them safe and choose one.
Gotcha.
And I will I'll add another team to the pool because I already have influence over her.
Okay.
And I don't have any conditions. So.
All right. So yeah, this dragon is coming at you, Corvid. You see, it's maybe about to breathe fire at you, which you're not sure how a paper dragon breathes fire, but before it can do that, it's almost cartoonishly just and gets pulled back and flipped over as the Golden Duke suplexes a dragon.
Thank
You
you.
good?
Yeah.
Good. And just leaps into the air towards it to continue.
All right, Chrysalis, what do you do? Your friend is doing battle with the dragon, maybe not necessarily in the best position himself right now to do damage. He's got a dragon by the tail. You're muted.
Okay, yeah. So I have a thing. I had marked angry before, but that's gone. But I do have one of my moves is coming for you. And it's when I mark a condition, I take a +1 forward against the person I most blame for causing it.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just gonna, blame the bad guy here on everything that's going on.
Okay.
And would that transfer to the dragon? Is the dragon a separate thing than the dude?
It's essentially part of the villain.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna run in and just try and smash up this dragon.
Okay. Sounds like you are directly engaging the threat, so roll plus danger, unless you've got something else.
Nope. I am gonna go ahead and do the not human enough though, and get an extra thing, no matter what.
Which condition are you marking this time?
I mean, since I'm not angry anymore, I'll just mark angry again.
All right.
All right, so plus an additional 1. Okay.
Okay, so that is a 9. So you can pick one, or y'all have so much team. Anyone want to bump him up to a 10?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in there with it, so
Yeah, I think it's
Distract.
easy enough for the Golden Duke to contribute a team and bump your move up to a 10
Okay.
Kevin,
So-
clear a condition.
from the chat.
Chat says a wave of calm washes over you and you're not angry anymore.
I can't
this was
be
a
angry.
one shot.
huh?
I'd adjust those times because this is really funny. You just can't stick on it.
I'll just stay insecure over here. It's fine.
Hmm. So I get 3 then because I used
Yep.
my thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to create an opportunity for allies. Frighten the opposition,
Okay.
and I'm going to take something from it. I think I'll
Okay.
like cut off its wings or something so it can't fly.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you did not choose resist or avoid their blows, so I think in this case, going to have them... Yeah, I think as you are tearing into this dragon, it does kind of whip around and let out a blast of fire at you with its long coiling neck. And I think... let's have you mark afraid, because it's actually hot enough that it hurts, and you wonder if maybe your how do they describe candy? Gooey center is starting to boil a little bit, maybe.
Oh no.
Not great, but
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you currently have the afraid condition, which I'm sure chat is going to clear in like 2 seconds, but with all the other things you did, you have more or less immobilized this dragon now, meaning, your allies would be able to much more handily take care of it. And as you have just done enough damage to this construct and frightening your opposition, the book wall starts to collapse, and the rest of you are able to see Etheria standing face to face with Dewey Decimation, who still has some more books flying at him, building up around him.
Can I have more than +1 forward?
You mean like a +2 forward or multiple +1s forward?
I guess multiple or a +2. I don't know, because my coming for me is whenever I mark a condition, I take a +1 forward, and I march 2 this round.
Yeah, so I think you would be able to stack them up, though again, your maximum bonus to roll can only be +4.
Okay.
All right. I think that brings us probably back to Etheria and having her dramatic showdown talk with the villain.
Hey, so cut it out.
All right. Sounds like you're trying to provoke someone.
That seems right.
So say what you're trying to get them to do and roll plus superior.
That is 8. I want him to cut it out.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. But you get, they can either stumble, giving you a +1 forward against them. They err, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact, you gain influence over them. I think in this moment they stumble as they raise a hand to you, which is also starting to gather books and pages around them. I don't have to listen to you. You're just and then a book, just a big old hardcover, slams right in their face and kind of sticks to it. And it's like, ah! But that is also the last piece that they need before they are just completely encased in books and just more start clumping on until they have essentially a mech made out of books that they're at the center of. But you do think you have messed up their assembly process, and so he maybe doesn't have the best control of it right now. So you have +1 forward against him.
Okay, cool.
All right. There is a mostly incapacitated dragon and now a book mech. What do you guys do?
If everyone else is here, I'm phasing out.
Oh boy.
I'm here to help. I don't do the punches. Whoop.
Is it an actual mech or like a paper mech?
It's paper, but it has taken on the appearance of, a mech, but, like the Kraken before it and the dragon currently, when you cut bits off, reverts to paper, but the assembled parts still seem like the real deal.
So I have alien tech that I can meld with it, or I could just blast it with my light stuff. I'm gonna just blast it with my light stuff.
All right. That does sound like you are directly engaging the threat.
Mm-hmm. Unleashing my powers?
That's more for... Are you trying to blast the mech, or are you trying to do something else?
I'm trying to blast the mech.
Yeah, this is one of the tricky things, because I get that you're trying to roll to unleash your powers because it's a better roll, but you are kind of just directly attacking the threat.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, it's not going to be great, but we're going to try it.
You guys have team out the wazoo.
Oh, I rolled a 7.
Okay, so you can pick one. If all of you contribute team from the pool, you could bump it up to a 10. Or I know Etheria has her special +2 thing.
Yeah, I still have to spend 2 though, because they're not supposed to stack. So.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know that any of you could bump it up to a 10 then. So, all right. You get to pick one of these then, LB. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten.
I would like to take something from them.
All right, what are you taking?
I would like to take off the helmet of this thing.
Okay. So you charge up a blast of light. Is it a beam? Is it just like a firebolt almost?
It is like a beam. It comes out like she kind of just pulls her arms back and her cloak billows in the breeze, and it kind of fires from her behind her in the cloak.
Okay.
And it's this green light.
Yeah, I think you are able to get the shot off, and it does what you want, but also he has identified you as a threat and has sent some books flying at you, and a couple of them clonk you in the head.
Okie dokie.
Let's have you mark.
Can I spend my hold from earlier to appear and have that not happen?
You can.
Then I'm gonna use there when it matters.
Ah!
So how do you get across the room to her in an instant, just moving quickly?
Yeah, I
How
think
do you
it's
defend her?
yeah, it's sort of what she's built for, is like paying attention to what's going on and then preventing bad things from happening. So I think I see it just like a second before Corvid realizes that it's happening. It just kind of phase like into the floor, over, and like up right in front of her to just like, oh, like push her out of the way.
Yeah.
Ah!
So the book that was about to clonk you in the head instead goes whizzing past as you are shoved to the side.
Pay attention.
I'm sorry, it's very bright.
But as you have taken off the book helmet, you maybe might have turned it up a bit too bright because you notice the rest of the suit is starting to catch fire around him.
Ooh, that was probably bad.
But at the same time, the dragon, he loses his concentration on it essentially, and I think Hector is just covered in a pile of books for a moment. But this guy starts flailing around and screaming because he's on fire. What do you guys do?
Hector just burst his way out of the books. There was a dragon here a minute ago. And looks up and sees the guy in the flaming mech suit and goes, oh no. And can he go and just try to rip him out of the mech suit to save him / stop him?
Yes. I think this is a defend someone roll.
Okay.
Because you are trying to protect the guy in the suit.
I will do that. So, Savior. 11. Boy, my rolls have just gone up throughout this game.
So, yeah. On a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. So, what do you choose there?
I will take influence over them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you rush over to this flaming pile of, this mech suit. You grab him, probably not as gently as you intended, by the scruff of his neck and yank him out. It's powerful enough that it just kind of breaks the cohesion he has with the books. And you have him in your hand. He's a little singed, but the mech suit books collapse. They're still kind of on fire, but it seems like some of them collapsing on each other have put them out a little bit. One of you might want to take a second to do something about that, but for now you have Dewey Decimation in your hands, and he just kind of slumps there. And he's just...
No.
I suppose.
This was the destruction of public property. You're probably going to have community service for this.
But
if this was your first offense.
It seems like the fight has gone out of him as he takes another powerful blow, hopeless, gives up without a fight. And you all have defeated Dewey Decimation.
Yay!
Like stomping on some of the pages on fire.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
We need to take him to the proper authorities, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is at about this moment you notice the mist that has been covering the walls and windows dissipates, and your communicators light up again. And it's Athenis. Squire Squad 7, report in. Do you read me?
Yes!
Oh, thank goodness. You were cut off from communications for a bit there, but
Yes, we were trying to get a hold of you the whole time.
you're going to have to work on your line there, Corvid, but report in. There are some, more authorities waiting to meet you outside. One of the knights has arrived. You should report to them, hand over custody of the suspect.
Yes.
I'm assuming you have them.
Yes, we do.
All right. Well, like I said, turn them over to the knight waiting you outside, and then I'll see you back at headquarters for debriefing.
Over and out.
Bye.
All right. So you all head out through the front. You go down. None of the illusion people you saw are there anymore. There's some of the, there's a fire truck there who you be like, hey, there's some fire in there, and they rush off. Some of the
Going through. Oh, good. They all got out.
The civilian rescue services are there, more or less clearing people away. There's some news vans there who start taking pictures of you, though they're kept far enough away that they're not allowed to interview you because you're all your squires, your minors. There's a system set up that, unless it's a press conference, they can't interview you. But standing there on the inside of the cordon is clearly a superhero given their outfit. You all may have run into them before in the past, but standing there, it doesn't look like that much of an outfit, but it's just so iconic the way they wear it. They've got a long flowing trench coat. They've got a bandana over the bottom half of their face. They've got a visor covering their eyes. And they greet you all and say, you all did a good job. Don't know if you've heard about me. I'm Lambast. I'm the knight that was sent to come check things out here. Seems like you all have it in hand.
Yes, sir. Here's the suspect.
And he just, kind of takes him, flings him over his shoulder with ease. Clearly, this guy has super strength of some kind. Well, seems like he's mostly cooperative now.
Just one strong man handing off to another. Just impressive muscles.
Thanks. It comes easy to me. But,
Yep, we did it.
Seems that way. I arrived, but seemed like you all had it in hand. So, you guys know how this works. You gotta practice and train on your own. If things got dicey, I would have come in, but like I said, you guys got it.
Thank you, sir.
But don't want to keep Athena's waiting. You might want to skedaddle on back to HQ. I'll clean up here. And you see there are also some crews of, they're just known as the cleaners who come in after any superpowered incident to fix things and get them back to the way they were.
Thanks. Okay, bye. Where did Ow! It's here. I found it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good.
Get my
Good
gas
job
mask.
in there.
Thanks, you too.
Good job, everyone.
Yep. So you all head back to HQ. We're running just a little close to time, so I think the last thing, you go back, you change out of your costumes. Athena debriefs you, finds out what happened, and I assume you tell her what happened. You give her a case report.
Yeah.
So yeah, she commends you all on a job well done, and tells you to enjoy your weekends. What do you do with your weekends after having stopped a supervillain?
Can I do one thing right now?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go talk to Kevin.
All right.
Hey.
Hi.
I think you're really cool.
Thanks.
Do you want to go play Fortnite?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I've got a pretty cool setup. If you want to come over.
Yeah.
All right.
Kiss him on the cheek and walk away. I've done it!
You did it. And as the chat says, that, kids, is how I met your mother. All right. Unless anyone thinks they can top that for how they handle their weekend, I think that's a good place for us to call it. So, now that that is done, GM Man can call it a rest, and Alex is here to finish out the session. Yay, you did it!
Yay.
You were superheroes. Any questions about how the session went? I guess the one thing I will say is if you all hadn't rolled so well to stop the book sucking you in, you would have gone into some stories and gone into the worlds of the books.
It's very cool. I'm
It
glad
was
I got
very
to punch
cool.
a Kraken.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you,
Good job,
players.
Alex.
Fun.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, all of us. As we've said before, check out our schedule below. Our next stream is actually tomorrow. It's not a regularly scheduled thing. It's a one-shot Blades in the Dark run by Ryan, who runs Wild Space. Some of the people here are playing in it. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then after that, we're back on a regular schedule with Elegant Suffering, then Neon Souls, and then Saturday will be Saturday Night's Apocalypse. But the best way to keep up to date with what we've got going on is follow us on Twitter, hop in our Discord. We're usually there chatting, playing games, hanging out. And we've got our schedule all over the place, which is both kind of all over the place, but we've got it posted all over the place. But anyone have any non-GGK stuff they want to talk about or promote?
I'll just say follow us on Twitter, because those of us that are on other channels post like madmen when we're doing other things. So everybody's Twitter handle is right below their faces. Follow all of us, because we talk about what we're doing.
So yeah, we've all got our Twitter handles there. If you feel so inclined to follow us, I just recently did a follower giveaway thing. It's still sort of kind of ongoing. If you want to check that out, it's, no one has requested any wonderful, amazing art in a while, but go check out some of my most recent tweets if you're interested. But other than that, I think that's everything. So until next time, good game and good night, Internet.